So I just delivered 2 of these kinds of pups to their new home and have some things to share with you about how that went, in the hopes that it will help other transitions go smoothly while it's on my mind. And since watching me isn't any fun and watching dogs is a lot more fun, I'm just going to pan around and let the camera follow the dogs while I talk. So the 2 dogs went to Barry, and Barry is in lots of the videos. He's been here almost weekly training the dogs so they know him well. He knows our training program well. Even so, there were mistakes that were made, and even so, the puppies did not see him as a partner on the property immediately. They don't. That is an earned situation. So with people that are taking the pups that the pups don't know, that's going to be even more true. It isn't a bad thing, it isn't a problem, but it's something to really be aware of. Being a partner with these dogs is a privilege, and it is entirely up to the dog as to whether he sees you that way or not. So I want to tell you a little story and then go backwards from there and fill in the holes a little bit. So this is the scenario. So we've got these 2 pups, and Barry and his wife have 3 little Gotland sheep, adult sheep that have not been around guardian dogs before, so we were not sure how accepting of these new white creatures the sheep would be. The sheep were wonderful. They did beautifully. They liked the dogs liked them. The fastest way for pups that go into a new environment to feel safe is the quicker with the livestock, the better. It makes sense to them that they have a job, they own the property, there's their livestock, and then their world works again, and then they go out and they investigate more and they consider all the broader circumstances of what has changed for them. So giving them livestock as quickly as possible is desirable for a bunch of reasons. So this is the deal. So we're standing there talking, everything is going wonderfully, and one of the sheep, and I didn't see it, so I don't know why, but he broadsided the wife, took her feet out from under her, down she went on her back, and landed squarely across the top of the female pup. The female pup looked up and saw the sheep and made the association that it was the sheep that got her. Now, it might be that it's better that she thought the sheep got her than the wife, but nonetheless, all of a sudden our nice situation kind of went to pieces, and the little girl dog was pretty horrified about, everything is overwhelming, and now she's not safe, and so after that, we allowed her to just kind of be close and supported her as she went away, and she sat up along the fence line and she watched from a distance and did that sort of thing. But now we weren't feeling trusting of the sheep, and so the next thing that happened that's interesting is that one of the sheep walked near the male puppy, who had been very brave to this point, and Barry was concerned that the sheep not hurt the pup, so he said something cautionary to the sheep, like, all right, now you be nice. My pup is not used to being talked to that way, dropped about 3 inches and thought he was being scolded for being near the sheep. So then he boogied away from the sheep and looked back at Barry like, what did I do? Why are you mad at me? And this is all in about 10 minutes time. It's very, very interesting. So the biggest thing that I want to say to you is Pavlov's dog. Realize that these dogs make associations, A equals B, and they decide that, and things can happen with them that you do not intend for them to connect those dots in the same way. So it behooves you to really, really, really be thoughtful about that. So the way that I put this to Barry that might be helpful, popped into my little head, is see yourselves as a triangle. So the dog is one corner, the environment, the sheep, whatever, is the other corner, and you are the third corner. Hook yourself to things that you want to see more of from your dog. If the dog walks by the sheep and nothing happens, nice job, little dog, good deal. See these guys happy over here? If anything that happens, you can, in a partnering up friendly kind of way, not a reassuring way, a friendly up way, you can say, nice job, dog. What you did is you connected, go babies, you connected yourself to something that went right. You want to do that. Don't focus on what went wrong. Focus on opportunities to reward for what went right. And in the case of wanting to partner with your dogs, tie yourself to that. So Pavlov's dog. Good thing happens, you become part of it, the sheep is part of it, you became a partner to the dog. That's how you build that partnership. If something bad happens, like in the case of Barry watching the sheep maybe thinking about doing something bad to the pup, if you see the dog is about to be hurt, and you say something like to the animal, like the sheep that's about to lay out your dog, and the dog is hurt, the dog just connected you in that triangle to being hurt. You can't afford that. So if you are not close enough to actually stop what is happening, and by that I mean step between the livestock and the dog, not verbally, not chastising anybody, do not connect yourself to that. Turn your back, look away. Don't let the dog connect those dots to you and the bad thing and the dog. That is a triangle that you cannot afford. So if you see something and you know it's about to happen and you turn away, the minute it happens and it's happened, it is done, then you can say, hey pup, that was interesting. Are you okay now? Let's do this. In a matter-of-fact up way. If the dog is traumatized, go to the dog, stand near the dog quietly. None of this coo, it's okay, baby. Don't do that. Stand near the dog, because if you're near the dog, you're a partner. It's like safety in numbers. It's like being a litter mate. You are there with the dog and he feels your support. Put your hand on the dog, like on the dog's shoulder or back. Don't pet, don't move, don't, just lay a hand there. It's like connecting energy. It's like tying yourself to the dog in support. Quiet, silent support. Or, how's it going? It's going to be okay. This will just be fine. Matter of fact, chatty kind of words. Don't use soothing, comforting words, because what that says to the dog is that you're worried. Something bad happened. It's a bad thing. Don't convey that to the dog. Even if it's true, just don't. And realize that in these first minutes, an hour, and however long, the dog makes associations with the environment that's like on steroids. It's like 10 to 1. It's like some small thing can mean something huge to the dog that just runs out of control beyond what you anticipated, like Marty tripping over the sheep or the sheep broadsiding her, truthfully. So don't tie yourself to that. And remember that these pups of mine have been taught to be confident dogs. So even though there is a setback, what that does is it builds in resiliency. It gives them the ability to recoup and recover and regroup faster than if they hadn't been raised this way. So this female at Barry's house distanced herself from us for about 15 minutes. And then she kind of showed up a little closer and a little closer, and we just sat and we were just there. We just let her know that our bodies were there. She could come and see us, or she could choose not to. I walked over to her a few times and she did not want to come with me. They get to choose that. They get to decide what they're ready for. So if the pups walk off across the pasture, go with them. Don't walk the perimeter. Give them some credit. They don't need you to tell them where the perimeter is. They probably think that's pretty humorous that people do that. But think of it as hiking. Think of it as being a shepherd with the dogs and the flock. If you're out on the property walking around, you're a work partner with the dog. So you can partner, you can build relationship by being in proximity. No cooey noises. Don't associate. You don't let the dog associate you with something bad happened. What people do a lot of is they forget to reward the dog. They're looking for something that's a problem to fix. And the dog is nailing it right in front of you. The dog is flawless. And nobody says anything. And then when the dog has a problem, the person steps in. Those are huge, huge missed opportunities. Watch for things to go right. Tie yourself to things that are going right. It's so easy, but it's human nature to look for flaws and things to fix, and those are huge missed opportunities with the dogs. So look for things that go right. Pavlov's dog, triangle, tie yourself to things. Don't tie yourself to things depending on what you want the dog to think. And that's what I have to say about that.